like I say, there were like two or three other people. There was Papa and like Brown and all other stuff. There was Eddie Murphy, quite a few other black people. Basically, one of them wanted to take my name or take my place. You know, he wanted access to my accounts. Like I said, Lucifer Star. I'm the creator. I'm actually like I say. Apparently, people thought that the American president, that Lucifer Star, was just another person like everyone else. I'm not. Like I said, I created the particle physics that actually created the matter of this knife. Like this knife is made from particles that I actually created long, long ago. Like they accumulate, or are given off by the star, and then they accumulate, and they are pulled back to like the Earth, and then through heat and pressure, they are made into things like solid or more solid matter. It's a process that takes 500 million years or 100 million years. But in the end, what you get is dense matter, or denser matter. That's not radioactive anymore. Like I said, it's a process that takes a long time, you know, because anyway, it's a process. I don't really know much about it anymore, to tell you the truth. But basically, pretty much, the particles that are given off by that sun or star up there basically go out, then are attracted back to basically the sun or whatever, the gravity or something like that, or the magnetics affect them or something like that. It's something very complicated. Anyway, and then they settle on what would be planets or gravitational bodies, like the Earth. And then those little particles go in, or something like that. Anyway, it's a really long process. But anyway, and then they go in and they mix up, and through heat and pressure, they become other things. They bond. They go from being little bitty particles to... So, I mean, theoretically, there's particles falling from the sky all the time. Like, theoretically, you just can't see them. They're too small. You know, they little neutrons or whatever, they just basically... Anyway, I think it's called space dust or whatever. And it's actually... They're actual real. There's particles... Well, they go through space and they bump into other particles. And eventually they slow down. And then they go... into planets or something like that. It's something weird like that. Like, I don't know. It takes 100 billion trillion years or a long time. But once it gets going, it's going. It's like an engine. And then they go... And they build up. And then they go... And then something. Anyway, it's a process that takes forever. It takes a long time. Basically, it's how you get more dense particles. Basically, they go in, and then through heat and pressure, they bond and become this. Anyway, I don't really know much about it, to tell you the truth. Or they bond, or they just bond. I don't know. Anyway, I don't really know. Oh, wait, no, that's right. No. As they're going out into space, they hit other particles. That's right, or something like that. Anyway, it's a complicated, and they become bigger. Basically, the sun or the star is giving off microparticles. And those microparticles go out and they become more or something like that. Anyway, it's a complicated process, and I don't really give a fuck because, you know, basically... Anyway, I used to understand it. I used to know it. I started all this. You know, and my life form started all this. That is basically what is your existence. Long, long ago. Anyway, and then somebody wanted to kill me because, and just basically... I don't know. They just figured, hey, kill him and then we can take over. Anyway, and they had no comprehension of who I was or what I was. So they attempted to kill me. It didn't really work out or something like that. And anyway, whatever. Anyway, it gets all complicated and it's like, fuck. I mean, it's 100 trillion years, and basically they lied for 100 trillion years about everything. You know? And whatever, everyone's always lying all the time. Apparently lying is like the number one thing that everyone does. Or a lot of people do. And we've left the realm of rational whatever. Because people like Eddie Murphy, who apparently lied about everything and everyone. Like, I'm not even sure. I don't know the man. He should have come and talked to me, but then again, some people said that if he ever saw me, he would kill me. I don't know. I don't know what his deal was. Anyway, drugs. He had a really bad opium addiction. Like, huge. They all did. Anyway. And he's one of those people that he picked up a .22 rifle and decided that, just kill him and he'll. Anyway, it's possible that basically as a young kid, he was a cute young kid. He killed some people. He killed some more people, and then killed some more people, and then tried to kill the people in China, some people in China. Anyway, I'm not exactly sure. Basically, and then he probably killed Robin Williams. Or killed Robin Williams' family or something. I don't know. Anyway, there's a lot of bad stuff that happened a long time ago. And there's a lot of lies and basically, just really got fucked up. Anyway, Robin Williams was a good person, by the way. A really good person. Eddie Murphy is a psychopath, and it's not. And his real name is Jacob. It's like Jerry or something like that. And he was an assassin and killer, and he sealed his records, and then changed his name. Actually, what happened was there's this other guy named Eddie Murphy, or Eddie, basically. There's this other guy named Eddie, basically, and he went to go perform at this place, and he was a young kid, and he went to go perform, and pretty much Jerry, or this other guy, basically gave him a line of cyanide, and he died, and Eddie died. And basically, then because Jerry wanted to be a star, Jerry walked up on stage and said, "Hey, blah blah, here, have some cocaine," and threw out the cocaine into the crowd. And from that day on, and then when they left, there's the real Eddie dead, this other black guy. And from that day on, Eddie Murphy. So Eddie Murphy wasn't really Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy was just a drug dealer. Jerry is just a drug dealer, and he basically killed this other guy, who was this young stand-up comedian that was going to try out. He gave him cyanide poisoning, and Eddie Murphy died, and Jerry, which you know as Eddie Murphy, basically got up on stage and went on stage. And that's who you know as Eddie Murphy. So anyway, he's a kid that went around giving a lot of people cyanide poisoning. And selling cocaine. Later on, he took a .22 rifle to China and got stopped. He was going to go kill the leaders of China. Anyway, he would travel around with a little bit of cyanide, and cyanide isn't really particularly illegal. So he would just travel around, and he would whip out his cyanide and say, "Yeah, it's cocaine. Here, have a snort." That's why he never got in trouble, because he would get stopped, and they'd be like, "What's this?" And it's like, "Oh, that's cyanide. I use that for something. It's for my cyanidic," he would say. "It's for my cyanidic. It's cyanide powder." And then he would go around and he'd sell it to people, like, "Hey, yeah, have some. It's good cocaine, yeah, man. I do it all the time." And he did later on have some real cocaine with him, but usually he would do the cocaine, and then he mostly just had cyanide powder. So he would go through borders and stuff like that, and then he would go and kill people. And cyanide wasn't really illegal to possess back then. Anyway, and a bunch of black people would go around and basically be like, "Yeah, I got some cocaine, yeah. Some cocaine. It's real good stuff." Like you put straight out straw up to here and pinch it, and they go. They would just pinch the straw, go, and then, like they did the line. "Oh yeah, that's the good stuff, man." And then other people go, and then, and that's Eddie Murphy that you know. He wanted to kill Robin Williams. He's a psychopath. Plain and simple. Drug dealer. Really bad man. That was his trick. Anyway, I don't really know that much about it. Like, I had him under investigation, basically. Later on, they found him actually having sex with a girl all night long. So, a dead body. Ask China about him.